Betty Buckley. Hey! Oh, talking about Betty Buckley is always a treat. If you love Broadway or even just classic TV, she is absolute royalty. People often call her the voice of Broadway, and for good reason. She has this incredible, powerful belt that can just knock you over, but she's also a deeply nuanced actress. Here is everything, and I mean everything, you need to know about the legendary Betty Buckley. ###. The basics. Quick stats. Full name, Betty Lynn Buckley. Birth date, July 3rd, 1947. Age, 77. Zodiac sign, Cancer. Birthplace, Big Spring, Texas, USA. Nationality, American. Current residence, a ranch in Fort Worth, Texas. Religion, raised in a strict Methodist fundamentalist Christian household. Now considers herself very spiritual, often exploring meditative and metaphysical practices. Sexual orientation, straight. Height, approx 5 feet 6 inches. Eye color, blue. Hair color, naturally strawberry blonde red, ###. The career, a legend on stage and screen. Betty isn't just a singer, she is a shapeshifter. She has conquered 3 major mediums, stage, TV, and film. ###. Broadway and theater. This is where she is a goddess. 1776, her Broadway debut. She played Martha Jefferson on her very first day in New York. Cats. This is the big one. She won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Musical for playing Grisabella. She introduced the world to the haunting Broadway standard, Memory. Sunset Boulevard. She famously replaced Glenn Close as Norma Desmond and received rave reviews, with many critics preferring her voice in the role. The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Played the lead male role. Carrie, the musical, even though the show was a legendary flop, her performance as the religious fanatic mother, Margaret White, is considered one of the best vocal performances in history. Hello, Dolly led the U.S. national tour as Dolly Levi. ###. Filmography highlights. Carrie, in the classic horror movie, she played Miss Collins, the gym teacher who tries to help Carrie. Tender Mercies, played a country singer alongside Robert Duvall. Frantic, played Harrison Ford's wife. Split, a massive career resurgence. Director M. Night Shyamalan cast her as Dr. Perrin Fletcher, the psychiatrist. She reprised a cameo in the sequel, Glass. ###. Television. 8 is enough. This is how most of America fell in love with her. She played Abby Bradford, the stepmother who stepped in after the original mother character passed away. Frantic. A gritty turn as a nun music teacher in the HBO prison drama. Played the terrifying grandma. Law and Order SVU. She has had a recurring role as a defense attorney. ### Personal life and family. Betty is known for being fiercely independent and private about her romantic life, but open about her family history. Marital status, divorced. She was married to Peter Flood from 1972 to 1979. She has not remarried since. Children. She has no biological children. Fun irony. Despite being America's favorite stepmom on 8 is Enough and often playing mother figures, she never had kids of her own. She has said she channeled her maternal energy into her work and her animals. Parents. Father, Ernest Lynn Buckley. He was very strict and initially opposed her career in show business. Mother. Betty Bobb, a dancer and journalist. She encouraged Betty's artistic side. Siblings. Norman Buckley, a very successful TV director and editor. She has 2 other brothers. ###. Advocacy and passions. This is the part of her life she loves most. Betty is a serious equestrian. Cutting horses. She doesn't just ride, she competes in cutting. Ranch life. She sold her New York apartment years ago to live on a ranch in Texas full-time. Animal rescue. She is a huge advocate for animal welfare and often adopts rescue dogs and rehabilitates horses. She once said, I work to support my horses. Hash, hash, hash. Untold truths and fun facts. Here is the tea that casual fans might not know. 1. The Carrie doubleheader. Betty is one of the only people in history to star in both the movie and the musical of Carrie, but in different roles. She was the teacher in the movie and the mother in the musical. 2. The Voice. Her voice is scientifically fascinating. She teaches master classes on song interpretation and meditation, believing singing is a spiritual act, connecting the mind and body. 3. Journalism major. She didn't study drama in college. She studied journalism at Texas Christian University and was a sorority girl. 4. Miss America pageant. Before she was famous, she was Miss Fort Worth and competed in the Miss America pageant. That's actually where she was spotted by a talent agent. 5. Alcohol recovery. She has been sober for decades and has spoken openly about overcoming struggles with alcohol in her early career during the 8 is enough days. ## net worth. Estimating net worth is always a bit tricky, but sources generally place her net worth between $2 million and $5 million. Source of wealth: decades of residuals from 8 is enough, consistent touring, Broadway salaries, and her recent film work in the Split franchise. ## education: high school, Arlington Heights High School. College: Texas Christian University. She holds a BA in journalism. ## friends and social circle. She runs in very artistic and intellectual circles. M. Night Shyamalan. The director is a huge fan of hers and wrote the role in Split specifically for her. Ellen Burstyn, a close friend and peer in the acting world. T-Bone Burnett. The legendary music producer is a childhood friend from Fort Worth. They have collaborated on her albums. Betty is basically the definition of a working actor who became a legend by just being consistently better than everyone else in the room. How did you get interested in her? Was it Cats or maybe the horror movies?